Close your chords or else. Or else what, you ask? Suck! There's so many reasons why you need to learn how to close your chords. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jim Chandler, a professional singer for over 30 years and a professional vocal coach for over 20 years. I'm still learning tons of stuff about my own voice and about other things I can do to bring out the best in my voice. And that's why I call it Rock Your Best Vocals, where your best keeps getting better. I'm still finding ways to improve my voice, improve my performance, and save my voice so I have a longer career, because that's what I do for a living. I sing for a living, and so I have to protect these chords because otherwise I don't be making no money. So let's get on with chord closure because it makes you sound better. If you're singing like a song, I was take like, for example, Journey, you know, just a small town girl living in a lonely world, living alone. So as opposed to chord closure, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. It's cleaner, it's crisper, it sounds better, it cuts through the sound of the music. If you're very airy and light and just kind of falsetto-y, pushing a lot of air, you're not going to cut through the rest of the band, and it's just going to sound really weak overall. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. And I can tell in here because when I start singing, and in a resonant manner, my guitars start ringing. You won't hear them on the microphone because it'll cut it out before it actually gets to the microphone. So that's one thing. That's one reason to have that chord closure. The second reason is because it's going to save your voice. You're not going to push as much air through. And when you're pushing too much air through, it dries out your vocal cords. And you end up with like this after sounding, you're going to sound really hoarse after a while. It's going to destroy your voice because you're pushing too much air through there. Like that. And that, I mean, it may sound cool, may sound kind of raspy and cool like that, but you won't be able to sing very long. So if you want to save your voice, if you want to be able to sing for a long time and not lose your highs, because if you push too much air, that's where people get vocal nodes and they lose their highs, they lose their falsetto, and they go, I've lost range, blah, blah, blah. That's because you've pushed too much air through that part of your voice, and you may have, caused some sort of inflammation. Inflammation is swelling, and then that can cause nodes, which are just it's like a callus on your vocal cords. Your vocal cords are very thin. They're about the size of a fingernail, about the thickness of a fingernail. And pushing a lot of air between those two tiny little things, you're just asking for trouble. Okay, so then the third thing is that if you're not pushing a lot of air out, then you're going to be able to sing longer lines. I'm doing that because my chords are closed. So how do we close our chords? That's what I'm getting to. Okay, so the best way that I've found is to start working with this kind of a yawn sensation. And how I found this out for myself was when I was singing with my band that I sing with, and it's, so we do weddings and corporate functions and stuff like that. And we do a lot of kind of mainly 80s tribute, and then we do some other songs, but we do 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. And then there's a line in there, get up out of bed and step in the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come alive. So the female is singing all that part, but then when she's singing, yawn and stretch and try, so I'm kind of acting out all of the stuff, kind of playing along, dancing along. And then when she says yawn and stretch and try to come alive, I do this big yawn. You won't be able to hear the guitars ringing, but they're really ringing because it's good. Now I have a limiter on the microphone so you can hear this and it doesn't cut it out or distort really bad. But when I'm doing that, it's super loud. and I'm not pushing a lot of air through that. I'm closing my chords when I'm doing that. So if you, the other thing that this will do is help you sing higher easily. So if you, we're going to start in this yawn position and we're going to go like this. We're going to play around with this yawn position and we're going to talk up here like this. So let's just sing that, go back to that journey. Somewhere in the night. So if we close the chords, somewhere in the night, as opposed to like if you were just a somewhere in the night. I'm pushing a lot of air through there, but I'm also kind of, it's hard for me to like work from that pushing a lot of air through just falsetto-y, because subconsciously my mind is like, don't do that because you're going to destroy your voice. So I'm closing my chords to save them, to save the loss of that vocal, the loss of my voice. What I'm doing there also is like playing with my support versus holding back the air. So pushing with support to help push the air out, but you have to really stop the air. And if that stuff is all kind of new to you, I've got a secret vocal coach program down below called the Singing Support Secrets, which will help you to understand support more. Take it down there while it's still free, and that will help you get started on understanding everything there is to know about support. And that is probably a great place to start if you're a beginner. And it's also a place that even if you're a professional singer, a long-time singer, that will help you get insights to how to sing better, higher, and longer notes. Anyway, look, I'm not going to belabor the point. Chord closure, yawn into it. Somewhere in the night. There's a little bit of placement going on there, but it's mainly with that chord closure. That yawning into the start with that yawning feeling. And that will help you to get that chord closure where sounding better, it'll save your voice, help you to sing higher, and you get longer lines out of that bit of air that you've taken in. So your breath lasts longer. Okay. So anyway, I hope this helps you rock your best vocals with your best keeps getting better.